needless to say, Nomad, I wish that in the Quantum Leap, the new Quantum Leap with Ben, they did more leaping into actual people like they did in in the prior Quantum Leap with Sam. Um, the other episode, he runs into a treasure and is a into Oak Island. I'd be curious to know if that were real, but that leaves me questioning: is it real? Is it fake? You know, it feels like this might take place in an alternate reality as compared to the prior series. But Nomad was a fine episode. I just wish that there'd be leaping into. Yeah. Now, on to the episode Family Treasure. It kind of reminded us of National Treasure a little bit. In my Nomad review, I ended it with it saying it's a fine video. I was wearing the same outfit. And I said I wish that was more realistic, more like our real world, and it didn't feel that this reboot didn't feel more like an alternate reality. And this is the one with the treasure that I mentioned just a few minutes ago for me. But for you, a week later. Um, and I've said it before. I don't mind having LGBTQ characters, but I do mind them just doing one minority. Where's my guy with CP? I'd love to see that. I want them to see another minority, a realistic depiction of a disability. And I think that if this show put its mind to it, it could. Because with Dina, the lady and one of the ladies in the Quantum Leap episode we're about to talk about, she is like the 14th gay character, but wears one disabled. Just one. That's all I want. Not 75 different people. It seemed fine, but at the same time, they had them all go through their own separate drama, and I did appreciate the gotcha at the end saying the treasure's at home with family, but I wouldn't go searching for this treasure myself because it probably doesn't exist in our world. I still think there's probably two alternate timelines, but that's just me. I don't know though. Thank you. I think I did it right. Um, yes, I could see my father or stepfather pulling something like that, where he had went, the dad had went, got the treasure already, and just had to pull some kind of life lesson out of his ass just to teach the girls not to waste their lives the way he did. It was very relatable. It doesn't matter if the gems are real. What matters is the lesson the quantum leap thing is trying to teach. I mean, the skeleton could have been their dad. They don't say that directly, but at the same time, he just does mention wasting his life. And it could, in the same ballpark, in the same breath, be their father. It might as well have been. You see a picture of him, you see their shock at finding him. Yeah. Um, and you know that one of the girls is so determined that she wastes her life in the proper time, in the other timeline. I don't, I don't want to, I don't want to call them proper, but in the timeline, in the timeline that before Ben corrects it, let's put it that way. I know I said proper, but there is no such thing as a proper timeline. Not in Quantum Leap, not in reality. That's just a little bit of philosophy for me. Um, but the one girl leaves. There's three ladies. The one girl leaves her husband, and presumably he doesn't get any of the money, but she sends her the kids. It was a fine episode, but at the same time, could I see Sam in that? Could I see Sam in that episode? Absolutely not. It was a Ben Song episode all the way. Why I say that? There wasn't as much effort put forth by the original show to get Sam home as this. You didn't find the DARPA code for his, who I think is Hannah, writing this. You'll see why in a few episodes, or if you're watching the playlist right away. But the point of this episode was really more, they aren't even focused on jumping back to that world. They are focused, they're calling them guest stars. They're once once they get the treasure, their story is done. It's more about finding that old DARPA code, whoever wrote it, which I think, if they're trying to pull on heartstrings, is going to be Hannah. The the next episode, I'll be all caught up, and it will be exactly where it is at in air in our current timeline. Yeah. So I'm really kind of excited. Hopefully you enjoyed my last couple reviews of Quantum Leap. I know for that reason that Hannah's son becomes a main character. So that kind of makes me think that they're still going to focus on her in the main plot. Just a minor spoiler here. She does break up with Tom. Oh, how disappointed are we? Tom had to go. If you're going to name a character Tom Westfall, either his name's fake or you're implying it's a dream. It's one of those two. But that's my opinion on that. Had nothing to do with this episode. This episode was a 4.5 at best. It wasn't perfect because, like I said, had no mention of Sam, no mention of Al, no mention of Al's daughter. The whole magic plot line kind of feels pointless now. You'll see why in a minute. That's why I'm giving it the score I am. If you're one of those people that want to see Quantum Leap have a season 3, I'd love to talk to you about that in the comments. I said to a buddy of mine that reminded me of the Snyder Cut. But again, neither here nor there. We'll see how it ends. Because you gotta see how it ends. If it ends on a blah note, they're probably not gonna have much planned. But them's are my thoughts. How about? Yeah. Hopefully that airs and gets more than one view. Right, Mom?